Oh man, breakfast is done. Coffee's been drank. Gonna have my apple for later. And what are we talking about? Oh, I mean we can talk about him all we want though, but he's asleep right now. I don't think he's in the mood right now. But what we're gonna talk about is our Steam machine today. And by that, I mean this little PC that we put together. Just basically run Steam as our little console since Valve's Steam Machine has been delayed for the time being. Now, normally what we could do is just dock our Steam Machine to our television, right? Which, by the way, funny video. But my wife right here decided, you know what, maybe it's probably a good idea that we just kind of build it together. Don't get me wrong, I think the resolution for the Steam Machine would be good too, but I personally think though that the power underneath the hood has everything to do with it. And I'm going to show you what we put in. Now, we had this built just a couple days ago, sometime last week. And the way we did it, we decided to go with AMD. But graphics card that we chose a GeForce RTX 5070 to go with it. Alright, sorry about that. I had to open this up real quick. But this is what we decided to go with, though. Now, with the power supply, just in general, we decided to go with an R75GL to go with it. Honestly, the PCI definitely goes good with it as well. More the 750 wattage is what we wanted to kind of just do to power it up, though. But we didn't want to overclock anything. Now, here's a... Sorry, doing everything by hand, though. Yep. 9060 XT. Now, and as far as our motherboard goes, we decided on Phantom Gaming on the Riptide Wi-Fi as well. Now, one thing we liked about this Riptide though, it was just the Wi-Fi 7 and the AMD that goes with it as well. And it's AMD Ryzen 9000 desktop ready to go. So I think it was just a good way to kind of just set a high standard with it. Now we've got 16 gigs RAM though, but as far as the processor goes, we decided to go with an AMD 7000 series to go with it. So Ryzen 7 7800X3D, 8-core, 16-thread processor. With a pretty good boost though. We're not looking to overclock anything, but just make sure that it can run quietly, but also just be a little beast for us. Now, and as for my PS5 goes, my PS5 will still be in action. But as for right now, though, this one's going to have to take a back seat, along with my Series X. So let's take a look at the... I don't have the tools right now to really open it up right now, so we're going to look at the Steam diagnostics to go with it. Now, the way we decided to hook it up, though, of course, we use YouTube, with our TV, though, but we decided to actually hook it up to the actual PC itself, the PC itself to the TV, to use it as a monitor. But for this one, we're using the motherboard to connect to it, though, not the graphics card. As you can see, though, because we've already tried this a few times, so I'm pretty sure it'll probably work with NVIDIA. But we don't talk to NVIDIA, though, because they've inflated the market, if you will. But with this one, we don't have it programmed to actually start up by putting... Because, one thing I'm also trying to do right now, I'm also going to be working on the Bazzite Linux programming, though, to actually be able to turn this on. But what we still do, though, number one, we're still going to turn it on, with the actual button itself, though. But what I do have, I do got my PS5 and my Xbox Series X controllers linked to Bluetooth. Yep, there it is, Bazzite. Yeah, give it a second. So, how about this? How about we use the Xbox controller real quick? I've shown demos on shorts with this, but, yep. Series X 972 controller. That's how I've named it. To give you a good idea, though, hold on. Works just fine. Bazzite itself is a Linux-based operating system that's been very, very, very popularized right now to run the Steam OS. And with this, I've decided to basically just have everything kind of just run through the controller itself. Now, the Xbox controller itself, though, is linked in along with my PS5 controller. It is linked in to Bluetooth. I don't have a mouse plugged in right now, though, but it is linked to Bluetooth on the desktop, not to Steam. So, okay, let's try this again though. One thing you don't want to do though, especially with this though, unless you've got it programmed into the console, you want to basically not minimize it, but you also want to put it to sleep. So, let's try this again. Turn it on. There we go. Give it a sec. Hey, mister. There we go. And what I've connected to it is my PS5 controller. I personally think the PS5 controller works best with it, though, personally. There we go. I'm all doing this by hand, though, so just forgive me for the little bit of the resolution there. But yeah, a lot of it really has to go to do with just, working on the console and customizing it yourself. Now, the way I got this, like I said, the way I got this through is basically pairing the controllers and stuff. If you have a Bluetooth controller, you want to pair it to the desktop, not necessarily through Steam though, because even if you pair the controller and try to shut it off through Steam, it's not going to shut down too. So keep that in mind. But yeah, you can also do that, via console, and that's something I've yet to figure out though. But it's something that I'm still going to work on to try to make this a little bit better. This is by no means a professionally done Steam machine, but like any kind of PC and any kind of PC gaming setting that you want to have out of it though, you want to make it your own. And like I said, this one's still a work in progress though, but the quality of life on this one has been a lot of fun. And we'll look at the system calibrations though. Of course, you want to put the language that you have on there. You always want to make sure your updates are always put in. But when you run this on Bazzite, you want it to be Steam Deck stable though, because Steam Deck stable is the simplest you can go with though. And if you own a Steam Deck though, this is basically the same user interface that it goes with. And that's basically the gist of it though. Not too much to go with it, but yeah, these are my current specs for the Steam Deck right here. AMD Ryzen 7800 XT 8-core processor. You don't need that much to go with it, but if you really want it to be something more than what it is though, hey man, it's your PC that you want to build. It's your way of playing though. That's all it is. Good 5.5 gigahertz frequency, good 8 physical cores, 16 logical cores, 30 gigabyte RAM size, and my video card that goes with it, and the size that goes with it. Honestly, I think this is probably the more basic, if not plus basic, if you will. Yeah, that's basically it. Now, just in general though, all of this is still a work in progress, but I'm gonna make sure I get this thing, really kind of padded out though, because I really want to make this kind of flashier, and if not though, I want to try to make all the qualities of life to go with it though, but I'd much rather have it more organized this time though. I'm filming all this by myself with one hand and then controlling with the other two. So yeah, that's like I said, this is not a professional method of doing so. It's just my way of doing it, and just like when you build your Steam machine. The chassis that I work with though is a Lee, and yeah, just there's a whole community right now pulling these up and building these put together though. It's really amazing what a lot of these gamers out there are doing to build it up though, because the Steam machine is delayed. So who knows, we may have started a revolution of sorts. Kind of an expensive revolution, even with parts being a little inflated right now. Thank you to NVIDIA and all the AI companies. Fuck them. Anyway, that's basically it though. I just wanted to kind of just show it off a little bit. I've been showing pictures of it though, and shorts on Instagram too. Much love. Peace. God bless. We good to each other. And too sweet.